Well, I would add that if you have no idea what you would do if you were enlightened, maybe you can add the idea that people who are enlightened have no idea what to do either. They're just playing it by ear. And so in their performance of playing it by ear, some goes over well, some goes over badly. They follow attractions that have dead ends or bad consequences, or they follow attractions in their role that seem to progress. I don't know how they can know that all ahead of time. How they can work in experience, not be subjected to the limitations of experience. At any time when the mind stops and the heart is just open and the natural state of bliss is felt, or there's known to be no dilemma, how that applies to experience and enlightenment returns over and over again. So no matter what you try and it fails, or it's a stupid, horrible mistake, that sense of innocence is always what is truly apparent or returns as the real case, the real situation we're really all in. So you might be striving to get happy in your life, to learn more, to be a better person, or just get away with what you want to get away with. But in the midst of whatever is happening in those experiences, whether you seem to be winning or losing, people are happy with you, they're not happy with you, you're not happy. What if a moment of transmission that just radiated that simple state that right now nothing needs to happen, there's no consequences because it's only right now, and you felt completely at ease, completely open and at ease. So that moment, that enlightenment comes forward, you know, in enlightened people, they can't ever forget that moment. That's the real moment for them. But they play in experience and they make mistakes in experience just like everybody else. But that moment, when you get tired of playing it in experience because of the consequences of experience, they recognize the true moment of enlightenment, see? Where other people just keep floundering because you can't return, or you can't acknowledge or re-recognize or know enlightenment, this true moment of this complete innocence, this complete reality of freedom is actually really only the real moment. So anybody who acts in experience can look great in experience or look terrible in experience, including enlightened people. So if you're born with a certain amount of looks, you can play on that your entire life, or a certain amount of money, and you can play both positively and negatively and get certain consequences and keep learning and growing around that. But enlightenment itself won't affect what you really understand about the play of consequences, the play of Tantra, the play of life. So I don't think enlightened people can look all that great. You know, if you like their qualities, then you'll naturally get along with them. If you're not attracted to their qualities, how they play in experience, then you probably won't get along with them. But if you ever have a moment of an enlightened glimpse or experience, or have that feeling and that understanding, then you know what they get. And then you can sort of forgive their craziness in experience because you know what they understand and you understand. So you can be at a party and everybody's, you know, trying to hit on each other and be, I'm so important, I'm special, who are you, or, you know, all the flirting and stuff that can go on. And there could be a moment where all that game in experience stops and everybody says, now we just look at each other for 1 second and we know that we're all the divine. There's no obstruction in our thoughts about it. There's no obstruction in our feeling about it. And everybody just laughs and smiles. And we go, oh great, okay, let's go back to the game now. We're playing this game. And so that's the struggle. So what do enlightened people appear as? Like everybody else, you know, or they appear like they're playing this bigger than life role of enlightenment, or they appear as, you know, really ridiculous around money or sex, or they do drugs, or they're good people, they're just good simple people who don't do that stuff and they're kind, you know. Is a requirement for everyone to have a really cleaned up personality that's completely functional, to get a glimpse of enlightenment, or to have an ongoing experience of enlightenment, or to be fully realized. That would be an interesting research project to find out what's true of all that. You only can go along with what you encounter. From my own experience of enlightenment and being a personality is, I think the more you learn and experience, it's because you made a lot of mistakes and you kept adapting out of what didn't work. Does that make you less enlightened because you admit you make a lot of mistakes in experience? No, because I always know what this is. This is a game of experience. How do you improve experience? If you're going to play an experience, you adapt. You look at your mistakes, you adapt, you do something better. Does that have anything to do with my enlightenment disappearing or reappearing? Not really. It's always there anyways. So like, you know what your name is, and wherever you go, you represent yourself with that name. Like for me, wherever I go, I know there is only the divine. The divine is what I am. So representing myself as a person named Santosha Tantra, I know I'm acting. And to do the best act I can possibly, for me, is to help people have that glimpse. Or if it's not in a situation where that's what I can do, then I just try to enjoy the situation the same way anybody else would. And what's involved in that enjoyment is how well you do it. But as far as experience goes, and even spiritual life goes, it's a series of really incredibly dumb mistakes you make that you realize that they're really incredibly dumb. So you figure out what's the belief or what's the action that will cause a better experience. So the process of enlightenment is looking at all the beliefs that you are not God, and realizing, after you take all the pride and the sense of special me out of everything, that it's all just craziness, and so you can let it go. You don't have to be identified with any special me experience, any special me thing to get. We're all just in experience, aging and dying, and either we're enjoying life or we're not. So if enlightened people, and if enlightenment helps you to enjoy life, well, I think that's a good bonus. I don't count on enlightenment to make me enjoy experience. Enlightenment is the moment where all experience stops, and the freedom of being free of all that whole game of trying to win, of trying to enjoy it, or trying to get away from the suffering. In that moment, all of it is seen as an illusion, and it's all seen as the natural condition without identifying with that game is already fine. You're already fine, but we are in experience, so how are we going to enjoy it here? So how capable anybody is in that, whether they're enlightened or not, determines the quality of how much they enjoy their life and the satisfaction of their life to them. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.